Now today I noticed one really cool, interesting feature, and I thought I'll share with all of you. This is definitely something that I was not really aware of, and I don't even know when Atlassian announced this. Initially, I thought this particular feature is probably coming from an app that I installed, but I noticed this feature on this cloud instance that I set up recently. Now, this is, I believe, applicable for business type of project. So if you go to any business project, and by the way, this is not really for all the cloud instances because I do have one more cloud instance where I don't really see this feature. So let me show you. Let me show you this feature. So if you go to, let us say, one of the project called project management. Now, I don't really know if you noticed. I mean, I'm sure by now you have noticed there is a feature. There is something on the left hand side that says list and calendar. Now, this is definitely not there. This was not there earlier. And if you look at this list here, you're not really sure initially what this list can do. Although, I mean, it seems like it could be just just a checklist, and we do have calendar. Calendar definitely makes sense because it says calendar, and I guess it will display issues on the calendar. But let us see how it works. Now, because this is a business project, you don't really have any boards or any service desk features. So let us create few issues. So of course we'll click on the button create, and we just have one issue type. So let us say we are using this project for doing some project management, and we are doing some activities. Let us say we have to pay office, maybe not, onboarding process, and there is a due date. Finalize the process, and you can have other fields. Let us create a couple of issues, and then hopefully we'll be able to use the new feature called list. And what else? Maybe onboarding process. We just had onboarding process, or maybe something else. Let us not be too creative. Task 1, task 2, and task 3. I'll keep it simple. So I'll basically create few tasks. Task 2, maybe a different due date. One more. Okay, I think this is enough. So if you create few issues, it will of course appear here in your issue. List of issues for your project. But if you go back to the project and let us click on. So we do have few options. I mean, board was there. This was introduced, I think, long back, where you can have a simple workflow and you can drag the issues from one column to another column. And of course, these columns represent the statuses that you have in the workflow, and you can of course do these things. Now, if you click on list, this is interesting, and when I used this feature, I quite liked it. So this will basically be just a list of issues, and not only list of issues. This view is editable. So, for example, if you want to change this summary of the task, so this is the new summary, and you can move on to the different issue, maybe third issue, which is another great task. And you can also transition the issue. That is awesome. For example, you may want to change the status to in progress, and this transition you will only be able to transition to a status which is applicable for that particular status. So basically, it will follow the transition. I mean, if you have any transitions, right now it seems like it is, I guess, simplified workflow, or where you can have any transition. You can make any transition, like you can reach any status from any status, but it will follow the workflow. You can also assign the issue to someone, which is awesome. You can change the due date. So this is like this view is really interesting. You can change the priority, and you can have additional labels if you want, maybe admin, UI, whatever. I mean, I always use these labels. I'm not really creative when it comes to these. Oh, okay. So I was trying to click on the. Okay, when you click on the date and updated date, created and updated date, it will basically open the issue for you. But you can also bring in more columns. So this is looking really nice. So if I bring in reporter, I guess I can see the reporter. You have some filters like done items. If you let us say click on done items, it will just filter the list. It's just like having quick filters assigned to me. Let us remove the filters, and you can also add items, which is always great. So one more task, and of course, when you add a new item, you can then further modify the fields if you want. So this is really good. I like it. It is like doing things very quickly, and it will also create the issue. And if you now take a look at the board, of course the board will, I mean, the thing is, it is you're making changes to the issue. So I think it is having one more feature. I guess Atlassian will probably get rid of the old list of issues. I don't know. I'm just guessing. So let us also take a look at calendar. Calendar is really nice because I personally prefer working, or I should say I prefer working when I'm looking at activities that I need to do on a calendar view, because that is how my mind works. I can imagine myself doing something on this particular date, and I can plan my activities ahead. If I know that I have something to do if I have something to deliver, there's a deadline. The due date is on 28th of April. I can do something about it. And if you look at this view, it will also reflect. It will basically show the things based on the status colors, I guess. So if you, let us say, change the status to done, and go back to the calendar view, it will display this in a different color. And you can also create a new issue. Let us say you want something to be delivered by 30th of April. Click on it. It will let you create a new issue, and deadline, more deadline, okay, whatever. So basically the due date is filled in for you, and create. So I quite like this feature. And by the way, not only these two features, I also noticed timeline. I think it was there earlier. I think we did talk about this, but this feature of forms, I think this is something that I tried today, and I believe based on what I played, I mean, I did play with it. So what it will let you do, it will let you create a form which is like, a portal, I guess. So basically, if you want people to raise request under this project, you can create a form, and then you can share this link. So basically, if you click on this preview, you can basically share this link, and this link will have this form, which is a bit like a customer portal, like another task for the process management team. And I guess you can use this link to raise request, and I think this link, it is very simple to use. I guess I mean, if you compare Jira, the way you work on Jira, and when you log into Jira and you go to a project and you click on the create button, you have a lot of things to do. I mean, it can be a bit overwhelming, especially for someone who is new to Jira. But with the help of this link, like if you click on this link that you can generate, this will make things simple, easy for anyone to raise a ticket. And I think these features are applicable for business type of project. So for example, if I go back to let me quickly take a look at project settings. I just wanted to check one thing very quickly, like, do I have any option here? I guess not. So that is it. I guess it is still the same. Timeline, I think timeline is, we know about timeline. I think it will display the issues on a calendar, or not really a calendar, but like a roadmap, which is a bit like what you can do with next gen projects. We looked at this, and this is definitely this is interesting, and the thing is that, for example, if I remember correctly, for this to work, you need to have a start date added to one of the screens, so that start date can be used as one point from where this activity will start, so it can appear on a roadmap, something like a Gantt view. But you can also add items from here if you want. So I think Atlassian is making an effort and trying to make using Jira even easier for a non-technical team. Let me quickly go back to one of my software projects, for example. Let us say team managed project. I don't really think these features are there. No, we don't really have those features here. But if you want to use business projects, I think those features will definitely help you. What I was looking for is this option to enable or disable a feature, which is not really there in the business projects. So I quite like this option to this new feature, these new features to work on the issues using list, editable list, and the calendar is definitely I quite like working on a calendar, and forms. Yeah, I think makes sense. I would be happy to use these forms, and I can understand why Atlassian developed this feature. I can imagine, and I can think of a use case where you may just want to share the link with someone. I'm not really sure whether this will work with anyone. I don't think so. I think it will only work with people who are already in Jira. I don't really think it will work with someone who has no access to Jira. I think they need to have access. They need to be Jira users, because we are talking about raising a tickets within Jira. But I guess the purpose here is to keep it simple, make it easy for people to raise issues. So I'll continue exploring the new features. I think there is not. I mean, these features are quite simple to use, and I also encourage you to take a look at it in case you think you can think of a use case in your instance of Jira, and I can definitely, personally, I can imagine, I can see myself using this feature. So quite happy about it, and that is all I wanted to talk about and discuss in this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something new today. Thank you very much.